Welcome back in. Welcome back in. It's your boy Mike coming at you, man, as we prepare to kick off season 2. Well, preseason, but season 2 nonetheless. And this is going to be, a video that's a bit on the shorter side. Again, I mentioned, I'm going to be doing the preseason, but, really just going to be doing play the moments. Want to get a first look at some of the new rookies on the team. But we're going to start out with a little bit of training camp. Going to have Glenn Roberts right here trying to do some target passing. And here's our first look at the new signal caller. And we like the release that he has, good size, good side-to-side movement as he, throws a dart right there. Nice one, nice one. And again, man, the team is very excited to have him in the fold. There were a couple of quarterbacks ahead of him on the board that, kind of divisive in the war room. Did we want to take Buchanan at 1 or maybe take the quarterback Sasser? Did we want to trade down and get, some more draft picks and still try to take Sasser? Durham went number 2, the receivers to the Lions. There's no telling, where Buchanan or Sasser might have fallen to had we not selected at number 1. And Garner just didn't think with his round 2 to 3 talent and the top 5 projection, just didn't really feel comfortable making that move at number 1. And as we know, he went at number 5. So, there wouldn't have been a whole lot of options for us as far as, trade downs and still having him available. And we did end up going with Glenn Roberts at number 27 overall. We stuck with our pick. That was our original first round pick. So, I'd like to think that even if nothing else, we still would have been able to secure our guy without the extra bevy of draft picks. But, they certainly didn't hurt. We're glad to have him as you see him dotting up Rondale Moore a little bit on this drill. Rondale Moore just so speedy and shifty, gets off the line immediately, which definitely is not reflective of kind of how it is in games. His release is still a work in progress, still in the very low 70s. Definitely going to be a point of emphasis this year. But again, man, very excited that our rookie does have a host of options to work with. Rashad Bateman coming off a very good year. Rondale Moore having by far his best season as a Cardinal up to this point. And we're going to be hoping to build on that. Trey McBride as well, going to look to build on his really, really good season. And then, of course, free agent signing Chase Claypool going to be in the fold again as that, kind of bigger body target, has a good amount of speed to him. So we think that Roberts has been set up for success. The drafting of Keegan Buchanan, the signing of Cesar Ruiz, and the drafting of center Dalton Murray. We've kind of revamped this offensive line in just one off season. Still do have DJ Humphries there in the final year of his deal. But, if we think that we can be competitive this year, I don't necessarily see a reason why we wouldn't at least start the season off with them, kind of see how things are looking. We have other options, for that other tackle spot should we decide that, maybe we can move on from Humphries. Maybe we're comfortable with what we got and try to just kind of build up a couple more draft picks, maybe get DJ Humphries off the books, not have to worry about losing him for nothing or, footing the bill for his next contract. As you see, Rashad Bateman just same as Rondale Moore, just absolutely obliterating guys off the line. And that's more representative of what he's actually been able to do. As we're going to take a look now here at Andrew Stinson, the top 5 talent cornerback who we drafted at number 19 overall, ended up being tied for the second best player in the class with the running back Dalvin Cage, who went to New York in the second round, but ended up being the second best corner behind corner Ron McKee, who ended up going to Jacksonville really late in the first round, I believe number 30. It was either 29 or 30, because I know they did make the conference championship. I just am not quite sure which of those 2 picks they ended up having. But Stinson, as you see, he's looking good. He's really able to stick with these receivers. You see his ball skills. He's been able to jump in front of a few, been able to knock down a few. And again, we're excited about him. Him, Jalen Johnson, and Greedy should be, one of the better cornerback trios in the NFL. Of course, when you talk about duos, you got to talk about Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed for the Jets. You got to talk about Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon for Seattle. But when you're talking about now adding a third corner into that fold, Stinson, we think has the potential to be very, very good. And just one more little housekeeping thing. We did go ahead and trade away Zach Pascal. We looked to see what kind of offers they'd be throwing our way, and we decided to go ahead and add Darnell Washington to the team. As here we go, man. First action going to be against Buffalo. BJ Ojulari making a nice stop on third down in his first little bit of preseason action. And here's the first look at Roberts, man. In some game action, looks for Trey McBride. And again, really like the motion that he has. Very, very excited to see what kind of season he'll be able to put together here as a rookie, as there's Antonio Gibson getting his first run now as an Arizona Cardinal. Again, of course, just preseason, but, nice to kind of see what these guys are going to be able to do. Ty Davis Price going to look to build off of what was a fantastic second season, but his first season as a starter, and he was able to get things done. As Roberts gonna fake it, gonna roll out. Roberts looking, trying to fit it in there to Chase Claypool, gonna be picked by Kaiir Elam. And the rookie's first big mistake happens, fortunately, in the preseason. Definitely going to have to clean some things up. We're not expecting him to be a perfect to be a perfectly polished passer at this point, as DTR looks for Darnell Washington. Do not fear. I know, you're wondering why is DTR in the game if it's the backups. We already know what Josh Dobbs can do. Dobbs is going to be the backup this season. Just wanted to get a couple more snaps in for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, as the pass is broken up there by C.J. Henderson, another free agent addition. And if you all will notice, the quarterback who's currently in for Buffalo, of course, it's the backups, but it is Josh Rosen. And look at Kaiser White bearing down on him, bringing him down, forcing a punt. Man, let's talk about a low-scoring game. All field goals up to this point, 9-3, and another stop on third down there. Kaiser White again coming up huge. A little under 5 minutes left to go here. Darnell Washington going to get the give, going to be absolutely flattened. But way to hold on there. DTR now drops back, fakes the pass, looking. Darnell Washington able to bring it in. And it looked like he was being covered there by a defensive lineman. So, got to give your big tight end a chance in that kind of situation. And he'll just lob one up there for Tariq Cohen by himself, walks into the end zone. And Tariq Cohen, someone who we're not quite sure what his role will be this season. Of course, we brought in Antonio Gibson. We already had Ty Davis Price. We brought in Darrell Hobbs in the 4th round, rookie running back. So, it's a matter of just kind of taking your snaps as they come. And now here with 21 seconds left, going to motion Elijah Higgins out wide. DTR is going to uncork one. That's Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson beats the defender, and he is going to take it into the end zone. Welcome to Arizona, Antonio Gibson. And unfortunately, we would miss the extra point. Again, I was doing play the moments, so I'm not sure if maybe they went for 2 or what happened, but Nyheim Hines had a nice long breakaway touchdown in this one. James Cook, got a little bit of run early. Antonio Gibson leading all receivers, 81 yards. There's Austin Smith, the big-bodied receiver that we were thinking of possibly taking, pairing him back with his college quarterback in Glenn Roberts, but he just went a little early for our liking, and so he is going to be a Buffalo Bill. As we take a look at a couple of signings here, KJ Hamler, we went ahead and signed, wanted to add a little bit of depth after trading away Zach Pascal. And then Amani Hunter, someone that we referred to in the draft a few times. He was a projected 1-2 guy, ended up not being drafted at all, and they're going to take a shot on him, maybe thinking that they can help him develop, become the player that he was projected to be out of college. As DJ Humphries talking to coach a little bit about helping out Keegan Buchanan, and Buchanan gets a bit of an upgrade as we jump here into the game against Kansas City. And here's Glenn Roberts again, rolling out, showing off the wheels. Again, this should be a relatively big part of what he's able to do here in his first season. Not amazingly polished as a passer. He is a better passer, at the current moment than Josh Dobbs. So we do have that working in our favor. Dobbs, of course, throwing almost 40 touchdowns, nearly 4,000 yards, did have a lot of picks, but as Ty Davis Price going to drop a pass right there. Interesting one from him. And, something that I definitely noticed, something to keep an eye on for sure, is Ty Davis Price had quite a few just dropped passes in this game or throughout the preseason, honestly. And, if his, hands aren't going to necessarily be reliable, definitely think that works out in Antonio Gibson's favor. Ty Davis Price is the unquestioned number one in this one, as Dobbs dives for the end zone and loses it, but it is recovered in the end zone by Elijah Higgins. Very, very funny play there. But, working in Gibson, getting Ty Davis Price some rest, as necessary, allowing Gibson to kind of work as that third down back, similar to the role that we had for Tariq Cohen last year. Think that that'll pay dividends, long term, as far as keeping both guys healthy and just, making sure that no one's workload becomes overbearing. And if you didn't realize, this is Ty Cook. He was one of the quarterbacks projected to go high in the draft, ended up slipping to the second round, just like Josh Garfield did from going to the Dolphins. Another potential guy that we could have drafted. In Kansas City, using a premium pick on a quarterback, very, very shocking. And Ty Cook, out of the top 5 or so quarterbacks, we felt like he was the least interesting, the least ready. But, Kansas City apparently didn't have the same type of thought process as Josh Dobbs, going to take it in himself, going to scramble around. And just a note on that, the reason that Dobbs is playing, I mentioned in the first clip against Buffalo that we'd see a lot of DTR. DTR did get hurt in this game, and he had to leave. So Josh Dobbs had to come in unless we were going to go ahead and play Roberts. And the last second pass is not going to work out. Dobbs, 10 of 18, no touchdowns, no picks. Did run one in, though, from about 4 or 5 yards out. And you see not a whole lot going on the ground in this game. KJ Hamler had that really, really nice catch and run, deep catch and run. Amani Hunter getting 3 catches. And Snoop Connor, of course, you saw that wheel route that he was able to get. 3 sacks, for BJ Ojulari. How about that one? Half a sack for Danico Autry. Very, very good performances from a lot of these guys in this one. Keegan Buchanan getting 4,500 XP for being a student of the game. And now going to head into this last preseason game. Look at Roberts fitting one in there to Rondale Moore. Man, that's going to be a fun connection. Again, man, cannot wait to see what these guys are able to do in, real live action. Well, this is live action, but it's not quite real yet, as Jalen Johnson jumps in front of that one, able to pick him off. Jalen Johnson picking off Justin Herbert, trying to fight a little bit, gets down to the 39-yard line. Great job from him. Really heads-up play. That wasn't even the man that he was defending. And they're going to take away points from the Chargers, but they get it right back. Josh Palmer gets the pass from Justin Herbert, tie ball game, as we, as time ticks down towards the end of the first half, has Antonio Gibson by himself. He was uncovered. Roberts not able to find him there. 4th and 3. Preseason, they're going to go for it. Roberts keeps it on the read option, tries to juke a man, doesn't make anything happen really, but gets across midfield, gets the first down. Great job right there. Now 1st and 10, Roberts looking. That's Rashad Bateman. Risky pass, but finds him. Probably could have gotten a little bit more, but wanted to be safe. Decides to just go down with it. 49 seconds left now. 1st and 10, Roberts looking deep, trying to give Bateman a chance. Does, and he not quite able to come down with it. Thought that he had pretty good positioning there, as Roberts going to take another keeper. They're going to try to get outside of Derwin James. Not going to be able to happen. James just too fast, too physical. Gets the young signal caller pushed out of bounds. 3rd and 2. Josh Dobbs now into the game in the 4th quarter. Going to hit Michael Wilson. And that was going to be all of our action there for that one as well. Glenn Roberts, 18 of 26, 250 and 3 touchdowns. Not really sure how much more you can ask for, especially in a preseason game. Rondale Moore, 147 yards through the air. Unfortunately, though, we would lose Antonio Gibson in this game, and he's going to miss the first couple of weeks of the regular season. But, hopefully won't be too much of a detriment, as, again, we do have Darrell Hobbs and Tariq Cohen still in the fold. As you see, Rajon Wright and Riley O'Brien both getting sent to the practice squad, just needing to get one more guy out of there. And with a very, very deep cornerback room, we do think that Keitrell Clark's going to go ahead and find his way to the practice squad as well. And now here it is. After a long off season, after making some moves, losing some guys, getting some new faces in, drafting some players that we hope can take us into the future, Arizona's season will start in Chicago at Soldier Field. Of course, this will be a rematch. This was a game where they allowed Leonard Fournette and Justin Fields to just run absolutely rampant on them on their way to a 31-30 loss, a similar loss to, how they beat Pittsburgh, with Pittsburgh scoring late, going for 2, not being able to convert. Arizona got in late, went for 2, and wasn't able to convert. And this was after going up 21-7. So there's going to be some bad blood coming into this game. Budda Baker, of course, seeing his team now, his old team now for the second season in a row. Both of them have been at Soldier Field. So, he hasn't really had to brave the Arizona faithful just yet ever since his move. But Jalen Johnson also moving back in. And we'll take a deeper look into the team as a whole in the next episode. As always, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe should you feel so inclined. Have a good one, and peace.